So in today's video I'm gonna answer that age-old question, how do I run faster? Actually, most people don't actually want to know how to run faster. They want to know how to run faster for longer distances. And the answer is actually quite easy really, when you really think about it. The answer is easy, but how you do it isn't so easy. So the actual quick answer to that is we run faster basically by staying in the air for longer with each stride. This is, yeah. So say for example, we have to, when we look at like each step, I would call each step a stroke. So let's look at, if you look at the leg, it leaves the ground and it goes backwards, and then it goes forwards, and then it lands on the ground. So what you want to do is from point A, where it leaves the ground, to point C, where it lands on the ground, you want to increase that time. And how you do that is when you kick back, you try to lift your leg up a little bit higher, and on the forward stroke when you land, you need to try and just reach just a tiny fraction further than you normally would. And it's as easy as kind of like just focusing on it or meditating on on each step, if that makes sense. Now the back step is actually a lot easier than the forward step. The forward step comes with more risks of injury, because if you step too far, the likelihood is that you're going to land on a different part of the foot. So if that's too far, you might land on your heel instead of where you normally run. I mean, I know for a fact that there's actually quite a lot of heel strikers out there, but for more efficient running, you should really be landing on your midfoot. Say for example, you know, you've been running for a couple of years or longer, and you're using like certain muscles. As you know, when you first started, your legs were probably sore and all that, you know, until those muscles got used to that activity. If all of a sudden you start running and landing on a different part of your foot, you're going to get that soreness again. So the trick is to reach on that forward movement, try to extend it by a fraction but still land on the same part of the foot. So if you're kind of like, you know, a mid-foot striker like I am, then you would land, you would stop, just step a little fraction more, land on the midfoot still, and then you're not actually using a different part of the muscle. And for the back step, you need to try and lift it up just that little bit further, so that you're almost kicking your butt with your heel, or getting as close as that as possible. So what that actually does is that keeps you up in the air for just that little bit longer. You might only be talking about, like, I don't know, 1 or 2 seconds longer. It will make a hell of a difference in your pace. I'm going to show you that in a minute on some downloaded running stats, where I increased my stride length from 0.98 of a metre to 1.02 of a metre, but in doing so I broke a PB. You know, you need to really have a watch that monitors pace to do it, for one, and also you need to be able to download it and take a look at your steps per minute and your stride length, and there you'll be able to see like the difference. Because with a longer stride length, the steps per minute will come down and the stride length should actually go up as well. So if you can focus on them two things alone and then correlate that in with your pace, you should see that there's like quite a big increase. Even a tiny improvement in stride and step per minute will increase performance a lot more than you think. So that's why I always say, when you're actually doing this exercise, don't just like try, right, I'm going to do my whole run. So you're doing like a 10k every day or whatever, or every other day, or however you're running. Instead of running that entire distance at that new pace, start by using interval training and do say like a mile at the fast speed and 2 miles at the slow speed, yeah. And then over the course of like time, you should be able to make slight adjustments, so eventually you'll go and fast for the entire time over the 10k. So basically you break it down in small increments so that you can get faster and faster. Well, what I would say is the perfect way to do it would be to first develop the speed. So month one, develop and watch your speed and get the pace to go up so that you can improve your overall performance. And then for month two, don't increase your speed any more from that, but increase the distance that you can, do it comfortably. So the general rule of thumb would be you never try to increase speed and distance at the same time. That's just a fast way of getting an injury. Yeah, well, I hope I explained that, because essentially it's all about basically becoming more in tune with your body, watching it and meditating on the actual process. I know it sounds really weird and bizarre, but say you run as a heel striker, if you focus on your feet as they land when you're running, and you kind of say to your body, right, I want to land midfoot, over time you will find that you do actually land midfoot. And the same applies to kicking your legs up and landing further. Yeah, right, so these are the figures. This is, let's have a look at the date. This was August the 29th. Whoops. And as you can see, at that time my maximum steps per minute was actually 217 steps per minute, which is really crummy actually. The average run cadence was 154, which isn't so bad, but the actual stride length there is 0.9 of a metre. So if we come back down here to have a look at pace, we've actually got a 9.45, that's the best pace. Yeah. And also notice how the training effect is just maintaining aerobic. Yeah. Whereas if we go forward to October the 6th, oh no, so jump forward, we can see that the stride length will increase, let's see, by just that fraction. Really, it's not really a lot. We're talking about just a few centimetres, yeah. And look at the difference in the pace. It went from 9.43 minutes per mile to do, so basically at that time it was taking me 9 minutes and 45 seconds to run a mile. And a month later, or 6 weeks later, I was actually doing 1 mile in 7 minutes and 29 seconds. And that's just from increasing stride length. And obviously, as you can see, the steps per minute actually come down as well. It's only by 10 there, but the maximum is 176, look. So it's actually the maximum cadence came down by 40 steps per minute. And the difference is, this was maintaining it, this was actually impacting it, was having an impact. In other words, if we go into, let's have a look, where is it? Records, where is it? Reports. And look at the VO2 max. Oh, my VO2 max has actually come down. But, oh, where's all the rest of the figures? That's weird. Oh, there we are. So in August, it was 47. In October, 51. So you can see that although I didn't actually use any extra effort, I've actually sped up. The heart rate stayed the same, but the pace has gone up, but so has the VO2 max, meaning that overall my running is actually more efficient now than it was 6 weeks ago, or between the 2 6-week periods there. I hope that explains it. If you got any questions, leave them underneath. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe or follow or however. I'll see you in the next video.